All right, breaking news coming out today, December the 12th, 2024. This is a developing story with the drones, and we had heard yesterday from Representative Jeff Van Drew that there was a mothership off the coast of the Atlantic that was sending these over. Now, we had heard the Pentagon, I shared with you as soon as it had come out, say that this was not accurate, that there was no mothership. These were not from Iran. There were no drones coming out. Well, we are now hearing a lot of information coming out today, and they're confirming what we heard from Jeff Van Drew. And let me know your thoughts. The claims that he made, they said they were huge claims. We actually saw Miss Faulkner, while she was interviewing with him, say this is huge. And I'm going to share with you some more information coming out as they are saying that there is confirmation as to what is going on. Take a look at the latest with me. I'm going to share with you this video footage first, though, before we dive in, so you can see the clip for yourself. Take a look at this.
Because when Congressman Jeff Van Drew began spilling some information today, and then just moments ago, off the top of the show, we had another Congressman, Gonzalez, also saying he's talked with people who are believing, and there will be verification eventually, I would imagine, that there's some kind of ship off the coast of the East Coast, an Iranian ship that left port. They've tracked it. They know the time it would have arrived, and that it was carrying a lot of drones that appeared in our skies about the same time. I mean, these are people coming from different sectors now. They have to tell us something.
There you have it, you guys. A second leak now confirming the same thing that we had heard from Jeff Van Drew, that there is a mothership off of the East Coast in the Atlantic that is sending these drones over, and they're claiming they are from Iran. Now, I'm going to share with you the latest so that way you can see exactly what is going on. And take a look at this. This comes, as I shared with you yesterday, that the mysterious New Jersey drones, they were not from an Iranian mothership. The Pentagon confirmed. I shared with you the video footage live. While we were discussing what it was that we had heard from the congressman, the Pentagon came out. They were questioned about this, and they said, no, this is not the case. This is not happening. And take a look. As New Jersey's drone mystery deepens, local officials are demanding answers. They're saying this is not okay, and they believe that they're lying to us. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that right now the government is lying to us? If you think they are, drop a 1. If you think no, drop a 2. My thought was the claims that were made yesterday by that congressman were so spectacular that he was putting his reputation on the line by saying these things. And he said, listen, I'm going to cut it to you straight. I'm going to give you the real truth. If you want to know, this is what is going on. And for him to make those claims, it makes me believe that he actually thinks this. Maybe he's misinformed. Maybe he got bad information, but he believes this. And he's saying, no, they're lying to us, or they're idiots. Take a look at this. This coming out today as well. Incredibly stupid and incredibly weak. The New Jersey representative rips the high-ranking officials for dismissing Iran drone speculation. I'm going to share with you this video that just came out on this so you can hear what it was that he had to say. As he said, no, they're stupid and they're weak. They are lying to us. They think that we're idiots and that we don't see this. They're going to gaslight us. He's saying, no, this is going on. He is saying it. He's saying he's hearing it from high-ranking officials that must remain anonymous. And he is saying that they know what's going on. They know exactly what is taking place, and they're keeping it from the public. And as I'm going to share with you in this video footage, you just heard it, there is a second leak from Congress that has come out, and they are saying, no, there is a mothership. There are drones that are being launched. Now, wait till you hear the details about this. It is not what you think. It is very fascinating. The mothership, they're calling it, they're saying that the reason why we don't understand what's going on is because the United States is decades behind in drone technology of that of other nations. And wait till you hear the details of what is going on with these drones. It is wild. A lot of people wondering, why have we not captured them, shot them down? What is going on? How can this be slipping by? Well, they're saying is because the technology of these drones are unlike anything that we have in the United States. And they're saying this is a real threat, and they're actually very upset to hear the Pentagon, the FBI, Department of Homeland Security say they think that it is not a threat. They said they can't confirm that. They cannot say that it is or is not a threat because there's technology here that they don't even understand. Now, I'm going to share with you the latest on this, and I saw all those ones pouring in saying that, yes, People believe that they know exactly what is going. The Pentagon knows what's going on, but they are not sharing with us. And you saw yesterday how quick they were to respond to that and say, no, that is not what it is. How could they respond that quickly unless either they know what it is or they're, yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, or unless they've somehow managed to massively rule that out. But I'm going to share with you the video footage so that way you can see it for yourself. A lot developing on this overnight, and in the last roughly 24 hours, we heard that claim come out that there was a Iranian mothership, and now we're hearing additional confirmation saying, yes, that is what it is. It's going to come out. The truth is going to come out, they're saying. Now, let me share with you, though, what we know so far, what is coming out, so you can see it for yourself. And as you guys are hearing, they are saying this information is coming out and that the truth is going to be revealed. So I've got tons of video footage for you. I've also got some articles linked in the description coming out. As right now, all I'm seeing in the mainstream media news is the Pentagon denying this, but now we're starting to hear the leaks are starting to come out. And who knows the extent of which we're going to see this unfold. Like I said, wait till you see what they explain is happening with these drones. They're saying the technology is not even something the U.S. is up to date on, that we are decades behind other nations, and that we have no clue right now with what is going on. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Now, do me a favor. I see we got about 2,200 people with me live. Take a second, hit the like button. Help spread this out further so more people can get the latest information. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And as I mentioned, additional resources, articles linked down below. And also, thank you to those of you that were waiting for so long today. I had some technical issues. For some reason, the streaming software was not linking up with YouTube, and I had to do this major reset, so I apologize for the delay. Thank you for sticking with me, but I believe that the content I'm about to share with you, the video footage, is going to make up for it because, man, I'm not going to lie, some of the stuff that they are sharing, it's getting kind of weird. It is getting kind of wild right now, and I'd be curious to see when the truth comes out what is going on, because the video footage I'm about to share with you is, man, there's a lot of information that I personally believe is being withheld, and it's all going to be coming out here very soon. Vic the Red, thank you for the $2 super chat. It's 100% Space Force, he says. We will see. I will keep you guys up to date on everything. I see Fired Up Freddy saying, no problem, Steve. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Kenny says, I'll hit the like button when you stop ads midstream. Kenny, I have no control over that. I apologize. When you're using a streaming software, YouTube just kicks them in whenever they kick them in. So yeah, just bear with me on those as well. I have no control. I can't see when they're popping up or anything. I am just livening it up, and yeah, so if they come up, you just got to wait the 5 seconds and then just click the next button, skip it. But yes, and also Rudy's saying hit that like button. I appreciate that. It helps spread this out further. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right to it so you can see the latest video footage coming out on this. And like I said, let's start off with this. This is a longer clip compilation of various things that are coming out. And in the middle of this, you're going to hear them say there has now been a additional confirmation on the mothership theory that there is some force out there. And I'm going to share with you in a second here as well. You're going to hear from Jeff Van Drew again. And he is saying they are weak, they are stupid, they are playing us. And he is saying, listen to me. High-ranking officials behind closed doors that need to remain anonymous are saying this is what's going on, but they're not revealing it to the public for some reason. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video footage.
We have objects in the sky that are the size of an SUV over any city, over any state. It's an invasion of our airspace. In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home, also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here. So I have two questions. How are they fueling them? They have to land somewhere. Drones don't fly forever. Why don't they close down the airspace? Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it's the holidays. Shut it down. But if you start shooting things and you don't know how they're fueled, that's going to be mass explosions. This isn't like one spy balloon. Congressman, this is serious.
We've got to bring them down, and we've got to find a way to bring them down. I don't know exactly where they're landing. Obviously, I have some information. And again, this isn't just Jeff Van Drew. Oh, let's get on Harris Faulkner's show and say something outrageous. I'm telling you the straight deal from very high positioned individuals who are telling me this. And the bottom line is they're launching them. They are across the country. We don't even have anything like this.
No.
Our government, and also certainly our hobbyists, don't. So think about it. Not only do I have the information, but it's also common sense. We've got to get them down. We've got to determine how they function, what they do, make sure that we can get them, and you're right, in a safe way. When I say shoot them down, get them down any way that you can, but right now they're probably extracting information. This is a clear and present danger to the United States and to our president-elect, and it's a serious business.
Well, and if one of them happens to fall and they're fueled,
Absolutely.
that explosion could kill people. I have to let you go, Congressman, but I'm so grateful for your time today.
Head live to the Pentagon because they are briefing on this right now.
Coming from a foreign entity or adversary?
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. Phil.
Just a few questions really quick on Syria. Did General Kurilla speak to Secretary Austin before or after his trip to Syria? Can you give us any details?
So pretty remarkable, John, because obviously that was our own Jen Griffin there asking about an interview that happened right here on Fox News earlier today.
Let's go to our correspondent on this story, Nate Foy, in Ewing Township, New Jersey. Nate, the frustration and even in some places the fear and concern grows by the hour.
So I just want to pause the video really quick because that was what unfolded yesterday. Now we're getting more updated information. So yesterday we heard Jeff Van Drew come out and say that there was high-level sources. He said, I'm going to give you the truth, that there was a mothership out in the Atlantic. They're sending out these drones. Now, also, we heard an update that there was 50 drones that came over in just one night. Now, overnight this morning, they're saying over 180 in a single night. And they're now saying thousands upon thousands of sightings are happening, not just in New Jersey, but all over the nation. Let me know, have you seen these? I've heard a lot of people claim that they have seen them in Texas, North Carolina, in New York, New Jersey. I think New York now has been confirmed. They're saying that these are all over, and they are scouting out areas, our military bases, critical infrastructure systems. Now today, as I mentioned this morning, we are getting an additional confirmation. Another source is saying, take a look at this clip, that there is a mothership out there.
Absolutely, Harris, and it's increasing by the day. And you heard some of that frustration from lawmakers today. Essentially, the story here in New Jersey, where we are, is that state assemblymen, legislators, mayors all came here for briefings thinking that Governor Murphy was going to be here. Many were frustrated. His office, Governor Murphy's office, called the meeting. They thought that he should be here, and they also thought that the FBI, the lead agency in this investigation, should be here. Take a look at some of the reactions.
The governor is not inside. Where are you, Phil Murphy? This is ridiculous.
I really thought he was going to be here for us because he needs to answer us. Responsibility has to lie on him. And maybe we need a state of emergency at this point.
So, Harris, one mayor told Fox that state police are investigating more than 180 drone sightings, and they're having difficulty picking up a signal from the drones, so they don't know who's flying them, and they also don't know where they take off and land. Now, some say the drones should be shot down, but that raises the risk of collateral damage. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill asked the FBI what process is in place to disable these drones if necessary.
So authority exists to mitigate a UAS in flight when authorized, and that could certainly apply to a sensitive site. I would be a little measured in speaking for the Department of Defense for those sites that are in question here.
Thinking about going solar, but not sure whether it's worth it for your home? Well, before you
One New Jersey State Assemblywoman says that it's misleading for authorities to say that there's no known threat to public safety because they don't know enough to actually say that. So a lot of frustration here today, Harris.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what it is, you don't know if it's safe or not. And that's okay. And Gregory Goins, who has spent nearly a decade researching UFOs and UAPs, and he's advocating for more transparency from the U.S. government on the issue, and he is from New Jersey. All right, full disclosure, also from that cobalt blue state. Gregory, let me just start with this, right where Nate and I left off. I don't think that you can dismiss people's concerns when these things have been flying over New Jersey and other parts of the East Coast, but mostly there, for a month. Like, how do they not communicate with us that at least tell us, hey, look, we have our eye on the situation? And the part where some of them are the size of an SUV, if it were to fall indiscriminately, it could kill people.
Absolutely. It's a scary situation. You know, you have groups of them too. You know, sometimes there's 5, 6, 7. The Coast Guard reported dozens following their boats, and nobody knows what to do, you know. Congress has been trying to get the answer. This isn't a new problem, though. It's a new problem for New Jersey, but unidentified anomalous phenomena have been happening in swarms for the last several years and even before that. You know, Langley Air Force Base last year had a swarm for 17 days, and we still have no idea what those are. You know, there's been no word. So we need to get answers. Congress has pushed legislation like the UAP Disclosure Act to force that information from the Pentagon, but they're not willing to share it. And that bill got killed in the Senate, in the Senate and the House somehow. So, you know, they're also holding hearings in both the House and Senate to get whistleblowers in there to testify as to what they have information of. And, you know, we're just not getting to the bottom of it yet.
That was my next question, because when Congressman Jeff Van Drew began spilling some information today, and then just moments ago, off the top of the show, we had another Congressman, Gonzalez, also saying he's talked with people who are believing, and there will be verification eventually, I would imagine, that there's some kind of ship off the coast of the East Coast, an Iranian ship that left port. They've tracked it. They know the time it would have arrived, and that it was carrying a lot of drones that appeared in our skies about the same time. I mean, these are people coming from different sectors now. They have to tell us something.
There you have it, you guys. Second confirmation. Another congressman coming out today and saying that they have heard the same thing from high-ranking officials. The public is not being told for some reason. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big issues, is that different parts of the government are telling us different things. You know, the Pentagon, after that report with Jeff Van Drew, they denied it. They said that it's not foreign adversary. They said it's also not military. And so they're saying one thing, the FBI is still saying they have no idea. So we're hearing a lot of different things from a lot of different areas, and people are getting scared that there's an Iranian mothership, carrying these drones off the coast of New Jersey. And, need I remind everybody that this failure of miscommunication to share information between different agencies is what caused catastrophes like Pearl Harbor and 9/11. So, we really need some transparency, and we need the Pentagon to open up, but we need people to push our legislators to get that information. Hopefully what's happening in New Jersey will motivate people to force that type of legislation through.
Yeah, that is something that affects every American. Gregory, just real quick, the science of these things. You've seen video, people who directly put their eyes on it. Is there movement that you are concerned with? I know the size of some of them is a problem because they're huge.
Yeah, I mean, the mayor of, I think it's a town down in Dover, he was saying that one was hovering and, around it were 7 other ones that were going in erratic movements quickly. So, they definitely have some odd movements. And then also they tend to disappear when, Black Hawk helicopters get near them. So,
Yes.
evasiveness, odd movements, large groupings, concern.
Yeah, and I've had witnesses tell me if you, shine a light on them, everything goes dark and you can see that on your camera. Well, that makes sense because they have a sensitivity so they don't hit things. So light or presence of something big would make them shut down. I mean, I get it. I mean, small objects are like that if they're battery operated and have sensitivity. Motion sensor is what they're doing. Gregory,
Absolutely.
So great to talk with you. Thank you for your expertise today. That is Texas Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez. He is with me live now. Congressman Gonzalez, is this a national security threat?
It is, or it could be, very likely maybe. I did have a conversation this morning with a high-level law enforcement official where we talked about the possibility of a mothership being there with the drones. I think the fact that we don't have definitive answers is worrisome. Sitting on the Appropriations Committee, I often ask, where is our money going? And then the other question is, well, if we don't know the answers, why? And when I got a response yesterday that said, the FBI only has a budget of $500,000 and Customs and Border Protection only has a budget of 0 for counter drones, this is a problem.
Well, look, you want to talk about budgeting. Think about the budget and resources among all those municipalities, in particularly New Jersey, near where the incoming president, number 47 for this nation, lives. I mean, can you imagine what those sheriff's departments and police officers are going through? They're having to talk with the public that is not informed on something that some of these drones have been reported to be the size of an SUV, Congressman.
You're right, and these threats are very real. Here we have, it's not as if a what if could happen to President Trump. This has already happened, and other threats have been circulated. The Iranians are surely always up to no good. It's just we have to keep our eye on the ball, and ultimately, the American people deserve to know what is happening, where their taxpayers' dollars going, and if they're not getting answers, well, how do we put resources towards making sure law enforcement has every instrument possible to keep us safe, and also, more important, probably ultimately important, keep the President of the United States or the incoming President of the United States, Trump, equally as safe.
Look, scientists are telling me now that our law enforcement, our local municipality, law enforcement does not have the capability to study these drones. I mean, you need the Department of Defense to come in at this point and close down some of the airspace so that they can figure out what's going on. Now, I took away from what you said, yeah, I don't know, maybe the Pentagon was either not telling us everything that's going on or spoke too soon, because multiple people now are talking about the idea that Iran may have some part in this. We don't know, but maybe.
Well, when I had this conversation with a high-level official, it was very clear it was important to them, and they're doing everything they can to find more information. But this is, once again, where this administration has failed. We need more transparency, good parts, the bad parts, the ugly parts, so that way we can fix things. We just want people to be safe. You don't want to have the unknown. The drone technology is not a new technology. It's an old technology. What happens when you add AI to it? Things get scary very fast, and the American people deserve to feel safe. They also deserve to have their taxpayer dollars going towards making them safe, not just when we invest 0 in counter drone technology, that's a problem.
Is that what's happening?
Now, you heard him say, I'm just going to pause it here for a second. That was Representative Tony Gonzalez, and he is a second one now coming out and saying there is a mothership, and you heard him say that we're investing zero into drone technology. But what we're hearing, wait till you hear it. You heard him say that we've had this drone technology for a long time. Wait till you hear what they're saying about these drones, though, here in a second. Somebody was asking about the mothership, they're calling it, and they said, I saw somebody in the comments make a good point that they made a mistake to call it a mothership because now people are associating it with aliens. They're saying, no, not aliens. This is a foreign power. It is some other nation. Let me know if you think it's Iran or if you think it's China. Those are the primary ones we're hearing. But they're saying that the drone technology is way more advanced. And this mothership, it's not like a ship like people are thinking about. They're saying it's actually like a carrier, a massive, massive object that is carrying these drones. And the capabilities are pretty wild. Okay, so I just wanted to interject that here for just a second. But let's get back to the video.
Happening. I mean, I do want to know how there's no calculation after you see maybe 4 or 5 nights, and now we're a month into this. I mean, what if this is driven by fossil fuel and a thing that's the size of an SUV crashes into a house because it runs out of fuel? What if it is battery power? It should be landing someplace and recharging. We can't follow that. We've got to close the airspace. What do you want to see happen?
I want us not to go, oh, I told you so, and look back,
wow.
and you can see this train wreck happening. So let's get ahead of it. There's already technology now where you can send a drone up and intercept another drone, right? And you can essentially capture it. I've talked about capturing it, not necessarily because there's danger to shooting things out of the air.
I agree.
How do we capture it so that way we can bring it back, figure out where it came from, find its flight path, find its frequencies, find some of the metadata that's embedded in it, the information that it was sharing, who was it sharing to, so that way you're not just going after an instrument, you're going after a network. This is the level of detail that our federal government needs to be working with our state and local partners to solve, to keep Americans safe. That's what I've been pushing for, as well as many of my House Republican colleagues, to get answers that the American people deserve and ultimately keep us all safe.
You just took this to another level. They're flying near the home, Bedminster, New Jersey, of the incoming president, and you're suggesting that collecting information could be part of this. This sounds like the China spy balloon that the White House didn't tell us about for a week. I mean, this is a lot. Congressman Gonzalez, I'm so grateful for your time and your expertise. I can't wait till the next time we talk, because I hope we both have more answers.
Thank you, Harris.
Thank you.
What is going on in our skies? The Biden administration is totally clueless over a group of mysterious drones that have been tormenting the residents of New Jersey, flying near sensitive sites like a military research facility, and even buzzing near President-elect Donald Trump's Bedminster estate. The FBI revealing to Congress that the agency is simply in the dark. But New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew says enough is enough. It's time to shoot these suckers out of the sky.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it
get better than market returns, completely automated and without having any prior experience. So come check the
very possibly could be, they should be shot down.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Okay, Jesse.
Yeah.
We can laugh about the mothership launching drones.
Yeah.
It's either an alien spaceship, secret U.S. military experiment, Russia, Chinese. But why, whatever it is, how could the United States government say, we don't know, and allow it to fly? Are they lying to us?
Are they lying to us? The government would never lie to us, Judge
You mean
Janine.
like what they did with the spy craft and the Chinese spy craft?
If it's aliens, then they can't say it's aliens.
Well, no, they pretty much admitted UFOs.
You think the Pentagon is going to say, yeah, they're just a bunch of aliens?
But what if you're living in New Jersey and I hear they're coming into New York? Should you have to suffer one of those suckers, and that's from the script, falling on your house?
Then you can sue, Judge Janine.
Yeah.
It's the perfect opportunity to call Judge Janine. Look, the Pentagon's probably just like, remain calm. My theory is this is a defense contractor that's testing drones. They have a high security clearance. Only a few people know about it because they can't test it in the desert. There's nothing there. They got to test it over reservoirs, urban, suburban areas, military bases, which there is a huge one right where this is happening, and maybe Trump's club. Other than that, I don't know. They say there are thousands of sightings since November. They are up there for 6 to 7 hours. There's no RF signal, so you can't detect them. And then at any time you go near them, they shut the lights off.
Yeah, they darken. But, you know, so how much we spend on intelligence, Dana, and how much information we have, and yet, you know, they've got to give the public some sense of, you know, safety here, as opposed to saying we're either lying to you or we don't know.
A state assemblyman of New Jersey who was in one of the meetings today, and he said it's remarkable how little they know, and scary.
He believes
how little
that.
They know. Yeah, he does. And he said, for example, well, actually, he didn't say this, but I was thinking about this. For a long time, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, has been giving out these monies for anti-drone technology stuff to these communities, and none of it's working. And so, and then they go dark, and then they don't know. And with the spy balloon that you mentioned in China, remember, everyone, for a week, we were like, what is that? What's going on? What are they doing? And basically, the government, the Biden administration, said that they were never going to tell us anything anyway. So no wonder people are worried about it, because it's not just one hot air balloon. This is multiple SUV-sized drones, and I'll tell you why I knew this was a big deal. One, Rich Zeoli, who's our Fox News affiliate radio guy in Pennsylvania, in Philly, he said on his radio show yesterday, for 3 hours, he takes calls.
Mm-hmm.
Every single call was about this.
Yeah, sure.
And then I got a call from my dad. He's like, what is going on? Are you okay? Is everything okay? And the government cannot assure us of anything. No wonder there's wild ideas out there.
You know, the FBI says there is nothing that would lead one to say Americans are at risk, but we really don't know.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, how are we safe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so drone warfare is the war of the future. I did a really cool segment on this on the Big Weekend Show about a month ago when we were seeing it in Israel, from Iran, and also in Ukraine at the same time. The way most people understand drones is they think someone's with a remote control and the drone's going out and doing its thing. Well, when that happens, the remote control is talking to the drone's talking back to it. There's a signal going through the air. That's old school technology.
All right, so if you're listening, so this is the drone specialist, the expert they're talking about. Listen to what he's saying. He's talking about the old technology that we associate drones with. He said that we think of drones in the past where there's somebody that has a device, they're controlling it with a remote control, with a computer screen or something like that. Listen to what he's saying about the technology and how advanced this is and how we are decades behind. Take a look at this.
That's antiquated at this point. So what they're doing with drones now is they're integrating artificial intelligence with land markers that can be spotted with a camera on the drone. You're not controlling it at all. It's controlling itself. It's got a designated path that it's taking, and it's doing it. So our number one defeat against drones is to jam that signal. If my remote control is sending it a signal, I'm going to send 1,000 different signals that can't hear it anymore, and it gets confused and it comes to the ground or goes off path, and we can take control of it. That's not even an issue or an option with the latest technology in these drones. The term mothership is actually something being used because they're developing technology to where you can take a big drone up and it deploys what's called a swarm, a bunch of small drones. And then if you can jam, it's got the capability to move and get out of your jamming reach. There's a lot in this space of drones that Americans don't quite understand or know yet. And the truth is the entire West is behind.
So you heard him say the mothership actually is, they use that term because it actually is a drone itself that launches, dispatches the other drones. So we're thinking mothership or like a ship out in the ocean where these are landing. He's saying it's actually a mothership drone that is launching and dispatching other drones. And he's saying that we are incredibly behind on the technology. There is no need for an operator, that they have AI intelligence that they're able to do this. And if our U.S. Drone defenses try to take them down, try to jam up their systems, they said they have the capabilities, the intelligence to be able to move out of the way, to shut themselves off, to avoid being captured. So they're saying that this technology is far more advanced than a lot of the American public even knows about. Let's go ahead and keep watching.
On drone technology. I talked to a good friend of mine that works at one of the big aviation defense contracting, and he said, you know what, man? I don't have a clue. And unfortunately, that's where we are.
You know, it's interesting, and you were a legislator, Harold. You know, they're saying that we need legislation to grant law enforcement the authority to shoot them down. So say you don't want to shoot it down, but you should be able to corner it to some extent so that it's got to go down. I mean, you don't have to shoot it down and blow it up. But how long are we going to tolerate this? The government told us that they weren't taking pictures of China spy craft in real time. Then when it gets over the Atlantic and we blow it up, oh, sorry, they were taking pictures in real time over military bases.
So I don't know an answer to any of the questions that you posed, but I dare to say this. First off, that was a great, thank you for sharing that about drones and how that technology is used and the advances there. It seems like that's going to be a big part of our future munitions and weapon systems. Two, every law enforcement has every right, if they believe their community or the space that they are protecting is violated or threatened, they could shoot it down if they chose to. There's nothing stopping them from shooting it down, and I hope that if I lived in that neighborhood, I would probably want them to take greater action. I've heard what Dana said, that these things are the size of cars or SUVs. Three, I heard the Defense Department answer, I think Jesse, I agree with Jesse. I think your theory, Jesse, this is a defense contract. I think it could be a defense contract or even perhaps one of our intelligence agencies that's doing this, because the Defense Department said that it was not posing a threat to any military installation, that there was not any mothership or ship off the East Coast that these things were taking off, unless they're blatantly lying to us. So I deduce, like you do, this must be, there's no way you're allowing this to happen in our airspace unless they're testing something. Joey would have an interesting and probably a better perspective on this, having served in the military, but there's something else going on here. But I have to tell you, if I lived in a neighborhood and I looked out my window, or my kids were looking out their window and they saw that, I'd be calling the police and certainly be calling the governor and others. And I would hope that Governor Murphy's probably, I would imagine he's had a call with the White House saying, what the heck is this that's flying in my airspace?
But nobody's been doing anything for a month.
And then they should share with the people.
There's one aspect of this that we didn't talk about that may blow a hole in the idea that it's all defense, all our friendlies. They just arrested a Chinese guy who was flying a drone next to a military base, and this is happening overseas on U.S. military bases. So that makes it hard to land one place or the other.
So frequent. You would think they would have.
Now there it is. Now the expert, you heard him say nobody else has been saying this, that they are seeing this on military assets on overseas and other locations. And I shared with you yesterday that I've been receiving DMs. And typically I don't respond to like DMs or messages I get with sourced information unless I can verify it. And it sounded very credible. I'm just going to say that I received messages yesterday from people that I confirmed looked like they were military specialists, messaged me. They must watch the show. They must watch the Steve Ram show. And they said, Steve, we cannot divulge information, but we want to let you know these drone sightings are not just taking place in New Jersey and New York. We are currently based out in military locations in Europe, and we are seeing these exact same drones at our military locations in Europe. So I wanted to share that with you, but again, take it for what it is. I like to cite all the information. It is a DM that I received that it appeared to be a credible military source, claiming they didn't have any footage or anything for me that was happening. And now we've just heard this confirmed from this drone expert. They're saying, he is now saying that this is also being seen in military sites around the world for the United States. So the U.S. is the target of these drones. Let's go ahead and keep listening.
Shot these now. This has happened like many nights.
I'm glad to hear you think that, Harold.
Look at Judge. You did a great interview with Danny Payne.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
So there you have it, you guys. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, we have heard that the Pentagon immediately denied this. I shared this with you as soon as the video footage had come out. They had said that there was no mothership and this was not Iran. Now, in addition to that, we are hearing that New Jersey people and America is just fed up with the lack of information that is coming out. And we have a response now from Jeff Van Drew, the representative that shared this information, that leaked out what was going on. And he is saying, and let me know if you agree, he is saying that the Pentagon is incredibly stupid and incredibly weak. They think that we are idiots. They're gaslighting us. New Jersey representative rips the high-ranking officials for dismissing the Iranian drone speculation. Now, I'm going to play this for you. And do me a favor, if you haven't done so yet, take a second, hit that like button for me. Okay. I was wondering what was going on with the picture here. It's because I have this directly coming out of the Fox News. I'm going to play this for you guys, and you can see it for yourself. But hit the like button if you appreciate it. Subscribe to stay up to date. As I mentioned, as more information comes out on this, I do not suspect this is the end of it. I'm going to share with you all the information so you know exactly what is going on. But let's take a look at his response here so you can see it for yourself. He says they're incredibly stupid, incredibly weak is the title. New Jersey representative rips the high-ranking officials for dismissing the Iranian drone speculation.
So, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, Republican of New Jersey, you were in a briefing yesterday. You had said that you believed or you heard that it could be from Iran. The Pentagon says that's not the case. And so I wonder, like, if you had put in China, if the Pentagon would then be forced to respond as well, and then we somehow narrow it down by way of guessing game.
They've been incredibly stupid and incredibly weak with this. Here's the point. We know they're not backyard drones that some hobbyist is using because they're much more sophisticated than that. We know that they're not a commercial company within the United States because we don't even have this level of sophistication yet. We are a full decade behind where China is with drones. The government claims it's not them. They say it's not them. So who is it? Well, I had credible individuals who have high security ratings, and they came to me. And again, these are dependable, credible individuals that have security clearance that felt that they wanted to clear the air. They were in essence whistleblowers and said, look, they believe there's a real possibility it could be Iran, that there could be a ship out, not right on the coast of New Jersey, not right there, but these drones, as cited by the Coast Guard, are coming in and out of the ocean. They're going to the ocean. They're not pontoons. They're not landing on the water. They're landing on something. We're not being told the truth. They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid. And again, understand these drones are sophisticated systems, ones that we don't have, that we don't normally see, and we need some real substantive answers. This has been going on for almost 1 month. It's incredible.
Sir, some people did not respect your answers yesterday when you were on our network with Harris, but you're on the Transportation Committee, you're on the Aviation Subcommittee, so you've got some chops. But, I mean, you pulled a pin and rolled it down the hall. And Jen Griffin took that question that you laid out yesterday to the Pentagon. Watch here.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones.
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
So what were you talking about then, Congressman?
These drones very well could be launched from a ship. It could be hundreds of miles out at sea. These types of drones go much greater distances. These, again, are something that we normally don't see in the United States. So there is a real possibility. Could it be China? Absolutely. Could it be somebody else? It sure could. Here's the deal. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening? I hope they know more than they're telling us, but that's disrespectful to the public and to Congress. It's about time they leveled with the truth. Hopefully they'll give us some information this afternoon. But even if they do, it's like a month too late. This reminds me of the spy balloon. Last year, traveled the whole country, obtained all the information it wanted as it was just about to exit. Then finally, the president ordered to be shot down. This is weakness and stupidity, and it's intolerable.
There was a briefing yesterday for local lawmakers in New Jersey. They came out of that meeting and said they got zero. And you have Governor Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, the state from which you represent, and he said, rest assured, there's no problem for the public. There's no danger here. But how can he be sure of that?
He can't be sure of it. It's like somebody that goes to the doctor and has a severe chest pain and it's horrible. They can't even stand up. And the doctor says, well, I don't know what you have, but you're just fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, they don't know anything. They have no information. How incredible is that when they have $1 trillion budget, supposedly all these experts? And I thought, quite frankly, that it was amateur hour at that press conference that the Pentagon had. No answers, no focus, no ideas. Of course people are concerned. So at the very least, what I've done is passed forward a very credible possibility that came from credible experts. These are real people that didn't want to reveal their names because they didn't want to lose their position, who have high security clearance. It's the real deal. I deal with these people. I'm on the aviation subcommittee. I'm the vice chairman of transportation. This is real. I'm not saying it's definite, but it's something that needs to be explored and treated with respect.
Sir, thanks for coming back today. You're making
Thank
waves,
you.
certainly, and I hope you get some answers, because we certainly would like to know what's up.
There you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As you heard him say that he thinks they're idiots, they're trying to gaslight us, and that they are weak, and they're not giving us the full information on this. So, like I said, that isn't a response, because yesterday we heard him say, I'm going to share with you the real deal that they're not telling you. He said, I've got credible sources behind closed doors that are remaining anonymous that cannot say, but I'm going to say it to you, and that is that there is a mothership off the coast in the east, in the Atlantic, and that mothership, we actually heard the drone experts saying they call it a mothership because it is actually a drone itself, a launching, dispatching drone that launches out other drones. It's out in the ocean somewhere, they're saying. And this must be massive then, because we're hearing that these individual drones, they're the size of cars. So there must be something massive out there. And for some reason, the Pentagon is not telling us, or they're claiming that it's false information. But as I shared with you earlier, for those of you hopping on a little bit late, I see we got over 5,000 people on now. We heard them come out and say, no, this is not the case. But today, a second source coming out from the U.S. government saying, Jeff Van Drew is telling the truth. This is the same thing that I'm hearing as well, behind closed doors, that there is a mothership out in the Atlantic, a drone mothership. They said that they believe it is from Iran that is launching these. And we saw, I shared with you yesterday, we had heard that the night before 50 came, that they could see them coming from the ocean, 50 of these drones from somewhere out in the ocean. Now this morning, reports coming out that overnight, 180 of them roughly, and they're now saying that it is multiplying the amounts that are coming. And as I shared with you, I had heard an anonymous source yesterday. It appeared to be accurate, but I said take it with a grain of salt because I received it in a message. Typically, I don't share these because I get messages every single day with people claiming that they've seen stuff, but it looked like an accurate one from a military individual that said, I'm on a military base out in Europe. They're not telling the public this. Please don't divulge my information, but we are seeing these drones at our military base as well. And then we just heard it confirmed from the drone expert that was just sharing with us in the previous video. Now, in addition to that, we are also hearing that there is speculation that this could be China. We've heard Iran, we've heard China. Some people said this could be our own U.S. government not sharing with us all the information. Some people even saying extraterrestrials or aliens. Mary, thank you for the $2 super chat, and thank you for all the super chats coming in. Apologize if I could not respond to them while the video was going on. She says, what does President Trump have to say? Great question. I was actually trying to look into that before I went live. I've not seen anything from Trump on this as of yet. Now, if I do, I'll be sure to share with you guys. But I do want to share with you some footage coming out and speculation that this is potentially China. Let me know your thoughts. Now, I did a poll earlier. About 1,000 people responded to the poll, and it was split. It was pretty split. About 20-25% thought it was Iran. About 25-30% thought it was China. Another 25% roughly thought that it was the U.S. And another roughly 20% thought that it was aliens. So the room right now is very split. We've got about a poll of the room. We got about 5,200 people on with me live right now. 1,000 people did the poll, and it was split. So I think right now the main thing, the takeaway from this is we do not know what this is. The government is leaving us in the dark. We've got leaks coming out claiming what it is, and they are saying the same thing. And why? If that is the case, are they leaving us in the dark? Why are they gaslighting us? Why was the Pentagon so quick to just say, no, that's not what it is? Unless they already do know what it is, or they're not sharing it with us for some reason, maybe trying not to cause panic and disruption. Let me know your thoughts. But let's take a look at this video footage as there's speculation as to who this is. Now that I've already shared with you more information as to what they believe is going on, let's take a look at this video footage.
Welcome back. Mysterious drones continue to fly over New York and New Jersey with few answers coming from the Biden administration. How is it possible that the Pentagon doesn't know? I'm not buying it. Local government officials continue to evade answers as far as the origin of these drones. They're being compared to the Chinese spy balloon that flew across the entire country last year. Meanwhile, a Chinese citizen living in Los Angeles is under arrest this morning for allegedly using a drone to take images of Vandenberg Space Force Base in Santa Barbara County. Joining me now is Gatestone Institute senior fellow and the author of Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America, Gordon Chang, back with us. Gordon, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What is your reaction to these drones? Do you think these drones are Chinese drones surveilling America?
These drones and this activity is too large, too well organized to be the work of lobbyists. And that sort of leaves foreign powers. And it could be Iran in connection with China. But clearly somebody is trying to absorb our attention. And Maria, the thing that really worries me is that if they're trying to draw our attention to these drones, the question is, what are they doing elsewhere in our country? So we could very well get hit. And by the way, I don't think that Chinese national should be put through the civilian justice system. This was a military violation. Person should be in a military brig because clearly the civilian system can't process these people properly and quickly enough, and we need to take them off the streets.
Wow. Okay. So I just wanted to comment on what he had to say there for a second. He said that this could potentially be a distraction from something else that is going on, a false flag, saying, hey, look at all the drone activity over here while they're doing something else over there to pull the attention of the government and the American people. Let me know. Do you think that potentially could be what this is? Is this a false flag? If you think so, put FF in the comments for false flag. If you think no, put no. Is this the thing, or is this a false flag pulling our attention away from the thing? Now, if this is a false flag, this is a pretty huge false flag because we're hearing these drones, they are the size of vehicles. We're hearing that they have capabilities unlike anything that the United States so far has released. And we're hearing that they are targeting military assets all over the United States and around the world. So if this is a false flag, this is a pretty hefty work to be done for just a simple false flag. This is pretty massive. So either this is a false flag that is detracting from something else even more huge, or this is the thing. They are using this to collect data and information to prepare for an attack. It's just very sloppy, very out in the open. Let me know your thoughts. No or false flag? And I'm seeing a lot of false flags. A lot of people saying this is something that is deterring our attention from something else. I am seeing some no's though. And my thought is, if it's a false flag, what is it a false flag for? Maybe it's detracting from, let's just say if it's China, is it trying to take our attention away from cyber attacks? Is it trying to take our attention away from potential nuclear fallout and war, potential hits that could be coming here? What are they distracting from if it is a false flag? Now, if this is the thing, then that means that they have put together this drone army with a drone mothership. They're gathering information on us for an upcoming attack. So, FF, if you think this is a false flag distracting us from some other thing that is coming, or put no if you think no, this is the thing, this is the preparation for what is coming. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I see a lot of FFs. I'm also seeing several no's. People say, no, this is not a false flag. This is the thing. This is the thing that's going to be coming. They're actually doing this as a prerequisite for the attacks. They're gathering information on us. And as you heard him say, just like the Chinese spy balloons, this could be China yet again, this particular individual is saying. Now, do me a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please take a second, hit the like button. I see we got 5,200 people with me live. Literally only need 5 more likes to get to 1,900. Then 100 more to get to 2,000 while we're live. That helps the channel out a ton. If you appreciate the updates, hit that like button. And also, if this is your first time here, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? Let's go ahead and continue on with the video, though, so that way you can see it for yourself.
Well, I mean, this has been weeks. You know, at this point, it's really... It's really not right that the Pentagon has not given us more information as far as these drones are concerned. Of course, everyone's going to just start speculating. We need some real answers from the Pentagon to really understand what's going on. I mean, the fact that China is surveilling America is not a secret. Everyone knows that that the surveillance programs are in place, and they're once again around our military bases. But we're not getting any answers from anybody. Meanwhile, President-elect Trump reportedly inviting Chinese President Xi Jinping to attend his inauguration next month. This is according to CBS. Trump invited Xi back in early November, right after the election. This invitation comes as trade tensions intensify between the U.S. and China over proposed tariffs. The move would place a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican goods, plus an additional 10% tariff on imports from China. Xi Jinping has warned the U.S. against renewing a trade war, saying that there will be, quote, no winners. Chinese authorities are considering a weaker yuan heading into 2025. Beijing says it's even willing to plunge deeper into debt and use stimulus needed to counter Trump's plans, Gordon. So you've got a lot of conversations, economic.
Wow, there you have it, you guys. So there's a lot going on with China and the economy and the threats. They're kind of moving away from the drone topic, but that is the latest that is coming out on this. And as I mentioned, this is by nowhere near over, because we are now hearing that today there is that second source that is coming out verifying the same thing we heard from Representative Jeff Van Drew, where he said there is drones coming from the ocean from a mothership that they believe is from Iran, and it is launching this out. It is collecting information regularly on what is going on our military bases. We now just heard the experts say that they're not only doing that here in the United States, but they're doing it around the world at our military assets and facilities. And they're saying that this is a second source now coming out and verifying what it is that we had heard. Now, the Pentagon immediately saying no. False information. There's no validity to it. There is no mothership in the Atlantic, and there is no source saying that it is from Iran. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who is telling the truth and who is lying? Do you believe the Pentagon? The Pentagon is saying no, it's not. But we're also hearing from all of these government agencies, the Pentagon, the FBI, Homeland Security, all of these local officials and forces and stuff. They're saying we don't know. But now we're hearing that behind closed doors, they do know. Two sources now from the government coming out from Congress, leaking the information, saying, no, this is what it is. Now, in addition to that, they're saying, we heard Jeff Van Drew himself say that the source told me that it was Iranian. It could be Iranian. It could be China. And he said that they believe that the technology is coming from China and has been provided to Iran to help prepare for potential threats or attacks against the United States. Now, we don't know. Again, just to clarify, they're saying that this is speculation. This is definitely a security concern. And he came out and said, shoot them down. Take them down. We need to capture these. We need to find out what is going on. We need to get the metadata, see if we can infiltrate the database and find out more information about what is taking place. But you guys, this is the information that we have thus far. Now, like I said, I believe that a whole lot more is going to be coming out on this. As it does, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel, because this is not the end. This is only the second day of this bombshell that came out, as they're saying they believe there's a mothership and that this is from an Iranian source. Now, as more information comes out on this, I'll be sure to share here on the channel so that way you know exactly what is going on. But that is the latest footage coming out on all of this. And again, the Pentagon denying it. We're hearing Jeff Van Drew and a second source from Congress saying high-ranking officials are telling us there is a mothership, and it is likely a massive mothership drone itself that is dispatching other massive drones, and they are collecting data, information. They said they have the ability to shut themselves off, to not be detected, that if you shine lights on them, that they will disappear. They'll go dark. The signal will go away. They'll float off. They're very intelligent, and they don't believe they're being controlled by somebody with remote controls in other locations, that they actually are with AI technology, and they're sophisticated enough to navigate on their own, collect data and information, and send it back to wherever it is coming from. So absolutely mind-blowing reports coming in on the technologies, and it could be that the U.S. government, they said, the drone experts are saying that the U.S.'s drone technologies are decades behind that of other nations, and it could be that we do not know what's going on. They're concerned. They don't want to raise concern to the public, so they are lying to us, saying they don't know, but behind closed doors, they know that there is a mothership out in the Atlantic that is launching out. Now we're hearing hundreds and hundreds of drones in a single night. But as I said, you guys, as more information comes out, I will continue to keep you up to speed on whatever unfolds, so that way you know exactly what is going on. And again, do me a favor, if you appreciate that, don't forget, take a quick second, hit that like button for me, subscribe to stay up to date. Like I said, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to speed on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. Also, additional resources, articles linked down in the description below. And that is the latest. Also, be sure to join me on my other platforms. I'm now on Rumble, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, X, Truth Social, Facebook, all the platforms, so that way you can know the latest of exactly what is going on. But thank you so much for joining me, you guys. As more comes out, I'll be sure to share. That is the latest. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.